Okay, building a business case. And what we know is this: for this new product introduction process, we know that we need at least a preliminary business case for the concept approval phase, to go through the concept approval phase, and we need a very thorough, complete business case for the final product funding case. And so this is something that we always want to keep a very targeted focus on anytime you as a product manager is tasked to do a new product definition or development. And here I got to tell you one thing. My habit is always to try and take a look at what the final goal is that I am required to go towards. And so that way it helps me to sort of walk backwards and then see what kind of steps that I need, and what kind of analysis, what kind of information that I need to gather now, and also understand what kind of transformations this analysis or this data has to go through before it qualifies to be put in the business case document or a presentation or what have you. And so why don't we do this? Why don't we take a look at a very simple one-page executive summary of the business case, of a already developed business case. And when we look at it, what I want to do is I want to show you a simple one page, but not simplistic, but it has a complete, all the essential elements of the business case. But it's a very concise executive summary part. What you will do is, in your new product review board presentation, you will start off by showing this executive summary when it comes to financials, so that your audience knows exactly what you're talking about. And obviously you're going to drill down into the details as you proceed through your presentation or your arguments and so forth. But it's always a good communication practice to, as the saying goes, tell them what you're going to tell them, tell them what you told them. So there are like three aspects to communication, right? One is tell them what you're going to tell them. That means you're going to maybe provide an agenda. Okay, here is what I'm going to discuss with you. And then second one is tell them, convey the message. And then the third one is tell them what you told them. So that is the summarized part of it. Here is what I told you, and here is what I am expecting back from you, a decision to go, no go, or you want more information, and so forth. So anyway, just a little bit of an aside there. But let's dive into this one-page business case, business case summary, and I want to walk you through some of these elements, and maybe this will be split into 2 lectures or so, depending on the time limits. Let's go through these elements one after the other in as much detail in this preliminary stage. Obviously, as we go into the follow-on lectures, I'll try to elaborate what these business case elements mean. Okay, so I'm going to show you a graphic here. Basically, it is going to be a sample snapshot of a executive summary for a new product proposal. As you can see here, you have several elements in this one-page summary, and let's walk through each of them one by one. Obviously, product name. You want to everyone in the company knows what the product is, and you've gone through with them various discussions, but for the sake of clearly putting this on the record, because everything that you do as far as the NPRB presentation and official approvals or seeking this or that information, they're all going to be part of the official company records. So any auditor will come in, and he or she will take a look at it and say, okay, you've gone through this process. It's one of those ISO requirements. So anyway, so product name is something that you want to very succinctly describe. I think what is more important in the product name is not only how it describes what the product is, and maybe you also want to say what the product is not. If there is one element that sticks out like an important description of the product, you want to just put it out there. And then primary target customers, obviously, if I am listening to this executive summary of this summary, if I'm the audience of it, I'm going to take a look at this primary target customers and say, oh, okay, you as a product manager, you have a commitment from these customers to at least be alpha or beta customers to start with, and also they are probably going to buy the product once we develop it. So that's good. So as a product manager, that's a good positive point for you, because you not only have defined the product, but you also got the validation from the customer. So that's all good, very good. And then other customers. So okay, you're showing me that there is possibility that there are other customer types. You're not yet sure who these are, but still you think you're going to target to them, which is fine. That's fine. It's always good to see that the product works for other customers also. And I see that you have identified what the market requirements are, target market requirements for the product. And if the product is software, maybe one of the requirements is that the market is mature enough that you have to support all the platforms. Again, I'm going to use a very common example these days. If it's a mobile software type of a product, it has to be Android or Windows or iOS. It can't be just an iOS anymore. And then you're saying that one other requirement is integration with a certain other vendor. I just used a placeholder called ABC. So it could be integration with some backend support, or integration with some commercial e-commerce type of package, what have you, whatever it is, or maybe PayPal integration, just an example, right? And then ease of use is one of the requirements. So I'm reading this as an executive in the board, and I'm interpreting this that, okay, you have some way that you have quantified or you have defined what this ease of use requirement is from the customer point of view, and you have gotten to the specific details of how engineering team can achieve this goal. And then if it's a hardware product, low power, yes, you did say low power, but maybe in the details you're going to drill down and tell me what exactly that means. Low power is what? 100 milliwatts is low power, or 100 microwatts is low power, depending on the product, right? And then schedule, yes, I see that you have said that alpha version of the product will be put out by January 2004, and then final version you're targeting a few months later in May of 2014, January 2014 and May of 2014. Okay. So that, the takeaway from me when I see a quick snapshot of the schedule is, you have discussed this with engineering, and they seem to be comfortable in committing to this kind of target. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it this way. The other part, which is the return on investment, that is where we want to focus a lot on. I want to talk a little bit more in detail as to how what constitutes this return on investment business case executive summary. And so let me take this up in the next lecture, and then we'll see you there.